Hi y'all, welcome to Lex Lives. I think it's time we play a little 7 Days to Die. I wish it only took me. I wish I could stay alive for 7 days in this game. It is super rare for that to ever happen. Where's my bike? My bike is down here. We hit these little shops last time. Yeah, that's not helpful. Let's head back on out of here. See what I can see. Back down the hill. So I did have some hey, I got a chance to watch something stories, but I've got to start off with a couple of different stories today. Story number one. Hey, look, it's a normal store. Story number one is today's eclipse day for me, and which I know this goes out the day after, but we did make some viewers today, and worked out pretty good. Okay, so let's talk about the viewers first. All right, so I saw a post from NASA. Right, they're the space people. They should know how to make a viewer. I'm gonna go back to that store. I just wanted to swing through and make sure I don't miss anything important out through here. But I saw a post from NASA, and they're like, "Don't have glasses." I'm like, "Yep, nope, we were too lazy to get glasses." They're like, "Just take a cereal box, cut out a piece of white paper, put it in the bottom of the box, tape it down, cut the two corners off of the box, and put tinfoil over one of the corners, and then poke it with a nail." I'm like, wow, that's really simple, and is way better than all the other stuff I was looking at that was like, you know what, I thought this was a store. I'm not sure what it was. It is not a normal store like I was expecting. I'm still gonna give it a try though. And so I'm like, okay guys, we're gonna need to keep some cereal boxes, and then you know, when it gets a little closer, just keep the empty cereal boxes as we get done with them, and we can make some viewers to be able to see the eclipse with. It'll be great. NASA says this works, so I believe them. And so yesterday, they're like, "Gotta make those viewers today," and I'm like, "No, I'm probably gonna make them tomorrow." And I saved out two cereal boxes that were empty to make these things with, and so I thought it'd be something kind of fun to do. You know, I've got the 4-year-old nephew, and, or no, sorry, 4-year-old niece, 7-year-old nephew, and I thought that'd be something fun we could do together today before the eclipse started, and so I stopped working about an hour and a half before the eclipse, because I didn't know how long it'd take to make these things. They didn't seem that complicated, but you know, also going to be dealing with little children, and so I don't know how long it would take them to do this thing. And so I come upstairs, and I bring up some sheets of paper, and when I get upstairs, the other adults in the house who are home today made them without me. And I was like, oh, alright, well, then I guess I'm just gonna go back down and go to work. I said I was gonna make these with the kids today, but whatever. And, I didn't appreciate that, but they worked. Well, no. I had to fix them, and then they worked. I took it out and I tried it, and I'm like, well, I can't tell if this is working or not. I'm like, there's definitely sunlight, and it looks like it could be working, but I can't quite tell. And then, oh, beautiful. I need those. And then my brother-in-law, he's like, you know, that's a pretty tiny little hole. I'm gonna make the hole bigger. And I'm like, well, on the video they use a tiny nail, so I think maybe the hole has to be small enough that you don't get too much light. And so he pulls out this head scratcher thing they've got, and he takes the handle on that and pokes a hole not as big around as my pinky, but maybe as big around as yours, through the tinfoil. So now there's a big white circle, and then they used a screwdriver that is one of those. They used a jeweler's screwdriver, but they didn't stop with just the end of it. They shoved it all the way through to the handle, and so then they had a you know, fairly large circle for what I was expecting, and then a medium circle. Neither one of them quite seemed to be working. I guess, no, I'm sorry. I got that mixed up. First they started with the screwdriver, then they used the handle and made the hole bigger, and which didn't work. And then I tried a toothpick, and I shoved the toothpick all the way in, but that also didn't seem to quite be working. And then I thought maybe there was a little bit of tinfoil, like, because you poke a hole in it, so the tinfoil has to go somewhere. And so I thought maybe the tinfoil was hanging down in the way and causing what I was seeing. And so I tried to smooth it out on the inside with the toothpick. All I did was made it worse. And so then I made tiny little pokes with the toothpick, and that seemed to work perfectly, just about at that point. And I think a needle. I think you should have done a needle. Probably would have worked best. But yeah, we were able to view the eclipse through the smallest holes pretty clearly. Uh-oh. I've done run out of gas. And I still haven't found that recipe that lets me make gas. So, I don't know if you can get gas from one of these. I don't think so. Nope, alright. I don't... Right? No gas. There's a iron pipe. Oh no, there is gas in here. I need the gas. Here, I need you to assemble for me. In fact, most of that was gas. Oh, hi? Ah. I swear, my aiming... That is quite a horde I have chasing me. Ah, I can't do these stupid side-to-side head guys. This is why I have a sniper rifle, right? When things go bad, there's a horde chasing me. It's almost nighttime. Although I'm pretty sure I could have handled those two decayed mothers easily enough. It's interesting that there's a whole freaking horde just walking past me. I hope they don't hurt my bike. Oh, they didn't hurt my bike. I need to go down here, though, and get some more gasoline. Yeah, we also... It didn't work well, and you could kind of see it, and it was dumb. It was really dumb, but we layered sunglasses and tried to take a quick peek at the sun. All I have is sore eyes now. I'm like, yeah, this is stupid and it's not working. I'm going to stop doing this now after we tried it like 2 or 3 times. I thought maybe the amount of the sun being blocked would allow you, but you know, it didn't work that way. It still didn't help. It was painful. My eyes are still a little sore from it, which happens when you get too much sun in your eyes, you know. And we don't have spots or anything. They just kind of feel like I'm gonna get a headache. But yeah. And then we come to the next story that I wanted to tell today, and this one is seriously, dude, what's wrong with you? Kind of story. So we're sitting at the dinner table yesterday. We call it dinner. It's technically lunch. Every Sunday we have lunch about 1:30, 2 o'clock as a family. And then we don't eat a dinner. You're responsible for your own dinner. I don't know why Sunday is at 2 and the rest of the week is at like 8. I don't know why that's a thing, but that's a thing at my house. And so, you know, I kind of want to check this engine to see... I'm going to throw this single bullet out so I can check this engine. Oh, where did it go? Oh no, it already disappeared. So did my single bullet. Thanks, game. So, where's my bike? So, we're sitting at the lunch table, I guess, yesterday. And we're eating lunch, and one of the other adults at the table turns to me, and he says, "Oh, by the way, yesterday I found some of your clean clothes in my pile of clean clothes." That's not a big deal, right? That's not a big deal. You're like, "Oh, okay, I found his clean clothes in my clean clothes. I will take his clean clothes back. I don't want his clean clothes." So somehow in their head, that translated into, since I found his clean clothes while I was upstairs on the 2nd floor, and returning his clean clothes to where I found them requires me to walk down the stairs, through the hallway or the living room, depending on which way you go, and then down a different hallway back to the laundry room where I obtained these clothes. His thought was, by the way, I threw them over the 2nd floor railing into the side hallway. They're laying on the floor in there. What? What? Why? Why is that a thing? Why would that be your thought process? Oh look, I got this other guy's clean clothes, so I'm gonna throw them on the dirty floor in the side hallway and not tell him about it for a day. I'm like, how does that help anybody? I don't know, but they're laying in there if you want them. Seriously? What? I don't know how I don't have a stroke sometimes dealing with these people. It's crazy. It's bizarrely crazy here sometimes. That that may be the... Well, you know what? That's definitely the craziest thing they've said this week. It's probably not the most irritation-inducing thing that has happened this week, but it's definitely the craziest thing that has been said to me this week. Obviously last week was, I'm going to pull all my money out of this bank because I can't use their website. Which I told that story about how I had to go through the basic security features on the website to enter the online banking account for my mother because she refused to read the English language instructions on the screen. What do they mean they want my phone number? It says right here, we're going to call you so you can enter the code that we will display on the screen. Well, I know what that means. Then why aren't you doing it? Why do I have to be the one? Never mind. I don't want to retell that story. So let's go on then to what I had a chance to watch this weekend. So, which obviously ties into the thing that made me the angriest this week. And that is, I've been trying all summer to get my nieces to come over so we can watch Vampire Diaries. It didn't happen very well last summer, thanks to my nephew and their father. And somehow that meant that the girls couldn't watch the show and they had to go home like after about 3 hours because of something the nephew did that had nothing to do with the girls. And he was just mad, and so he grounded all the kids because, well, I don't want to get into it. But anyways, so I've been trying actually for a couple of years to get the girls to come over so we can finish watching the Vampire Diaries. Now, I know Vampire Diaries didn't finish its 8th season until this year, and so I think it was this year anyways. And so, but we were only on like season 3, and we've been trying to watch this for a couple of years now. So I had planned this weekend, I had arranged everything so that I could get all my recording done for the week. And that was my plan for the weekend. Well, then my mother, who enjoys my suffering, I'm pretty sure, keeps repeating to me over and over that the girls are not going to be able to come this week. And that I shouldn't get my hopes up. That's what she says a lot to me. You shouldn't get your hopes up. You know what? I don't have hopes anymore. Y'all have just beat them out of me. You shouldn't get your hopes up. My irritation is not that they're not coming over. My irritation is that we verbally agreed to it, and they have backed out of a verbal agreement made with me. Not the girls, the parents, the useless parents. And not for any good reason, just... I'm just assuming it's because their mother doesn't want to be alone while they're not there. That's what I'm assuming. That's been her excuse before. They can't come over because I don't want to be in the house by myself. You're an adult. You know what? Sometimes your kids aren't going to be home. You're ridiculous. So my mother repeats this to me over and over again on like 4 different occasions over 2 days. And so I sent a message, hey, I heard you guys are too busy to come over this week, that's okay. Just let me know, though, because I've already rearranged my schedule for this, and it would have been nice if I'd have known earlier so I could have put it back, in, you know, with some... Because I do things with other people on a regular basis. I have canceled my plans with those other people. You stupid buzzard. Get out of here. I have canceled those plans for the week based on the belief that people were going to keep their word. You'll notice this is a recurring theme. This just happened to me with my other D&D group last week. We made plans, we agreed, We verbally agreed. I rearranged things. Nope. I think the week before that was, or no, that was last week too. We agreed to things. I rearranged my schedule so I could accommodate other people. And then when it came time to follow through on their part, nope. And so it ruined my entire day. And, you know, I pretty much expect that every time I make plans. Anyways, man, that is totally off target, and I keep talking about this because I'm so irritated by it. And I know the last message I got was from my niece saying, we're trying to get to come over for 2 days this week, but our mother doesn't want us to come over. And so we definitely can't come over for the 4 days that we originally agreed to. Me talking with the mother, her putting it on her schedule, and agreeing to it at that point. After discussing it with the daughters about how they have sports practice this week that they're going to have to skip for 1 day so they could do it. And so now that it came to the actual let's do it, and it's a big fat no. She doesn't want to be at home without people. Which has happened before. I know I said the girls could come over 2 days, but it's just me here at home, and so after 1 day, I need you to bring them back, because I don't want to be here by myself. Seriously? I just can't be that childish as an adult, I guess. And this is coming from a guy who enjoys spending most of his days watching cartoons and playing video games. But come on, So anyways, because all that fell through, I suddenly had a large opening on my Friday and Saturday that I wasn't expecting to have. And because of the stuff that fell through earlier in the week, I didn't have to work extra on Friday, so that gave me spare time on Friday, spare time on Saturday, and I watched through The Defenders, which is the new Netflix superhero show. I also watched a guy throw a fit that The Defenders even exists. I don't know what his problem is. He hates superhero movies and doesn't feel like they should be allowed to be in theaters, and that they're a detriment to society for some reason. It was very bizarre to hear him talk. I don't get how all the other crap that's in the theaters is allowed to exist, but superhero movies, that's the thing that's got to go. Anyways, I watched The Defenders. I would probably rate it as the number 3 on the list of superhero shows of the Marvel Universe on Netflix. And when I say shows, I don't mean all of their shows, I just mean the Netflix-specific adult shows, like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. Right now, for me, it would most likely be Season 2 of Daredevil is the best. Season 1 of Daredevil is the second best, although Season 1 of Daredevil has one of my favorite moments. Uh-oh. I don't have enough stones. And, it was alright. Like I said, I'd probably put it about number 3 on the list. It's a close tie with Luke Cage. I did not particularly enjoy the layout for Iron Fist. I don't know what happened to Iron Fist, but it was... Oh, you picked up clay. I don't want clay. I want stone. I don't want iron. I want stone. Stop picking up the iron. I want stone. Not nitrate powder. Not clay. Not raw iron. Is there just no stone? There you go. I get that I have a pretty full inventory, but I need some stone to get things situated here. I also could use some wood, probably. Why are you not? Because I ran out of wood. I gotcha. Alright, let's see if we can get some wood before zombies kill me off here. I did get a bedroll down, so we're okay there. Oh yeah, let's find something I can throw out so I can get some wood. So yeah, so we had Daredevil the first season. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was amazing. I thought the one of the problems that I have with the Netflix based Marvel shows, and I have not watched all of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I saw someone saying was better than the Netflix stuff, and I disagree. I want to say I've watched the first 2 seasons of Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., maybe 3. Whatever one is the one with Ghost Rider, I haven't finished. Ghost Rider is not my favorite character, and so I find my desire to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. lessened because he's on the show. I don't hate him, I just don't enjoy his character. It's not like, oh look, they're making an X-Men show, but it focuses on Cyclops. I might not watch that show. I do despise Cyclops. But they're like, oh look, we're making an X-Men show, and it totally focuses on, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know what character to pick out of the air that I find mediocre. It's all about the Blob. I'd be like, you know, he's alright. He's not my favorite. He's not my least favorite. I'm probably not going to want to watch a show completely about the Blob. He doesn't interest me that much. And, so, you know. Anyways. I honestly feel like I might like the Blob more than Ghost Rider, though. Oh, you know what? Let's just throw those out of here. Okay, now I need a campfire. How am I doing for water? I'm probably not doing well for water. Can I make any kind of... I can make, like, storage crates, right? Secure storage chest, yeah. Can we make, like, 3 of those for right now? Just so I can store some things in here. So... Alright, let's go with general stuff first. Okay, we'll do medical stuff. You can stay with me. Second. Oh, look, I got sniper rifle parts in here, too. Y'all should be in here as well. We'll also put food in this one, I think. I cannot forget those mushroom spores. I need them. And then spare weapons and weapony things can go in here. That's better. That's better. Now I do need to find some water. I am gonna need water for this. Hey, weird guy, where did you go? I need to kill you. So anyway, so Daredevil first season, amazing. Second season was better. Ooh, he was fast. Nice shot there, dummy. And I really like the stuff. Oh, I was saying what I found wrong with the show. What I found wrong with the show is they do this thing where they get like halfway through a season and then they have a big plot twist in the middle. And the plot twist is okay, but sometimes well, pretty much every time it completely changes the dynamic of the story. And that change doesn't always make the show better. Okay, I'm gonna bring this. Oh, I do have water in here. Look at that. I'm gonna bring this as well, just in case. I actually need one of those. And then we'll just leave the rest of that in there, I think. The water, though. With the water, I can make meat stews. Why can't I make meat stew? Oh, because you don't have the pot here. That's why. Meat stew. And that used all my meat. Cool. So... yeah, I probably don't need multiple shovels on me either. So, anyways, let's finish this off. So then after that, after the first season of Daredevil, we had Jessica Jones. I'm gonna have to rewatch Jessica Jones sometime here, but I have to be honest that after the first season of Daredevil, it was not as good for me as Daredevil. I felt like they didn't give the Purple Man enough of a showing, and it seemed to be a lot about PTSD kind of thing, and I wish it'd been more of a fight between the good guys, you know, the good guy Jessica Jones and the bad guy. They introduced Luke Cage in that one, so that was okay. I'm not a big fan of Luke Cage's personality, I guess, and sometimes he's like, you know, I'm the big bad superhero, and then a lot of it he's like, they're forcing me to do this, and I don't want to be responsible for people, but I'm... And then the next scene, I'm the big bad superhero. You can't... Dude, make up your mind. You're driving me crazy. Just be or not be. And then I guess in between Jessica Jones and Luke Cage is when we had season 2. That introduced the Punisher, which was awesome. But that one also had a split personality. Like, the first half of the season was different from the second half of the season. And then we had Luke Cage. Luke Cage had the worst so far. And in fact, Luke Cage actually made me not like that show as much as I think I would have. I liked the fighting in the second half better than the first half, but they removed the bad guy halfway through it and switched bad guys, and the new bad guy was not as good as the original bad guy. And I don't want to give out... I already gave out some spoilers here, but I guess spoilers... I like the sister as the bad guy. I didn't like the weird guy in a suit who shows up. Who's like his brother, just out of the blue kind of showed up. that fun for me. I like things to build, and there was no building in this. He just suddenly was there. I'm your half brother. I hate you because reasons. Else am I watching? Oh, it's the same story as Dishonored 2. I hate you because your father had an affair. That's weird. I didn't do anything. It doesn't matter. I hate you because your father is my father. And you had it better than me. Well, shouldn't you be blaming the father, not the other who didn't know you existed? That's just... Anyways, I enjoyed Dishonored 2 a lot. And then we get to... dang it, I've got to do this faster. And then we got to Iron Fist, and Iron Fist was not that great. Its story was all over the place, and it was like he couldn't decide what he wanted to be at all, like zero. Like, I know that was the point, but it was done in such a weird way that he doesn't have the training to be a businessman, and so he just shows up at the business in a suit and wants to be a businessman, but he's got no idea what that means. He can't control his powers. He still can't control his powers. He's supposed to have all this training. He does he does minimal fighting in the show. Most of the good fighting is done by Colleen Wing, which is his samurai girlfriend, which I'm fine with. If this was about Colleen Wing, it would be awesome. Her story is better than Iron Fist. Her story is better than Iron Fist. She was trained by the bad guys. She didn't know they were the bad guys. She found out they were the bad guys. She has this complete meltdown partway through the season, and it's awesome. Like, her story was awesome. Claire, the nurse who's in every season, also has a pretty good storyline going. Iron Fist's storyline and Luke Cage's storyline are not good. Jessica Jones is a drunk private investigator. That's about the extent of her character. Okay, sure, she's got some stuff going on in the first one with PTSD, but she is just a straight-up drunk private investigator in the Defenders. There is no more storyline to her than that, and I felt like her character needs to be built up. I'd like to know more about her character, but they've avoided it completely. And they sort of hinted at one event in her life as the focal point for why she just stays drunk constantly. And it says all the other people on the show have faced the same thing, and none of them are just constant drunks. She has zero character growth, and it would have been nice to see her expand a little bit as a character. And then after Iron Fist in March, I was surprised because I didn't think it came out till next year, but I got my dates wrong apparently. The Defenders came out last week, and it was all right. They kept on target with the story a little better, I felt, than Luke Cage or Iron Fist, or I guess Jessica Jones stayed on their character or on her storyline pretty good in her season. I just didn't like the storyline. It could have been more epic, and it was a little less epic and a little more I have PTSD and I'm a drunk, and that's not why I go to watch a superhero show. And and honestly, I'm not even sure what her powers are, other than she's super strong. I'm gathering from the things that went down in the Defenders that, like, I don't know, she doesn't bruise up when she gets in a massive fight, so she's got to have some kind of personal, like, defense against what's going down. But oh, don't turn that off, you're still cooking. But that hasn't really shown up, so I don't know. Anyways, the Defenders was pretty good. It wasn't amazing. I wanted it to be amazing, of course. I wanted it to be as good as the Daredevil, and it wasn't. And there was a lot of rehashing of the existing storylines of these characters in the Defenders, and it took up a large majority of the series. Like, we get it. we get it, Daredevil. You can't decide whether you should be the lawyer or Daredevil. We get it. That's every superhero goes through the same thing. And I know there's quite a bit of that in season 2, but a lot of season 2 of Daredevil is taken up by the Punisher. And the Punisher was amazing, and I can't wait to see his season when it comes out next year, I think. And but seriously, we spend too many episodes of the Defenders worrying about whether or not he wants to be the Daredevil. We spend way too many episodes of a question I thought was answered in the first season of Luke Cage trying to decide whether or not he wants to be a superhero. We spend way too many episodes of Danny Rand, who is the Iron Fist, explaining to people he's the Iron Fist. There are so many jokes about how he is, the mystical Iron Fist, and everyone's like, yeah, okay, so mysticism, right, that's not a thing. No, but see, I can make my hand glow. You saw it. You saw my hand glow. Yeah, dude, you have zero character. Please, somebody build him a backstory that's a little more in-depth. And so he is still, after a full season of his own show, still debating whether or not he's the Iron Fist. Not that he doesn't have the power, not that he didn't earn the title, just the fact that he doesn't know what to do with it, and he still doesn't know what to do with it. And he just keeps saying things like, I'm designed to destroy the hand, I'm a weapon to destroy the hand, but he doesn't really go out and fight the hand. I don't know what he's doing. And they're like, look, this is a way we can destroy the hand. Well, I don't want to do that. Okay. And then you got Jessica Jones, who basically spent the entire Defenders trying to get drunk. She did instigate part of what went down, but it basically just involved her seeing a guy commit suicide, or no, going to a guy's apartment and getting her hands on his shipping label, and then trying to find that company. That was the extent of her private investigation, basically. The very end, the last 3 episodes of The Defenders, was good. I liked that a lot. The stuff with Sigourney Weaver and Elektra in The Defenders was awesome. That was the best part of the show. That was the best part of the show, was Elektra and Sigourney Weaver. Their whole plot line together was awesome. The problem is their plot line had nothing to do with the story. Basically, it was the setup for the story, but it was not the end of the story. So, because they did their other twists, and but yeah, it was good. I'm pretty sure it ranks at number 3 for me. I might have liked that better than Luke Cage. I probably did like that better than Luke Cage, especially the second half of Luke Cage. It's been too long since I've seen Jessica Jones to know whether or not she is the bottom of the list or if it's Iron Fist, because I am not impressed with either of their characters at this point. Because the Iron Fist character wants to be the Green Arrow character from Arrow, but without the superhero part. He wants to be an angsty rich kid who slums around with his nearly unemployed girlfriend and does nothing, as far as I can tell. Yeah. They're not that bad. I'm exaggerating a little bit, of course, but I really did enjoy the end, and I loved the Sigourney Weaver character and the Elektra character. I just wish they had left more of their personal angst of the characters out of the show and focused a little more on them defending New York, because I expected the Defenders to be the end. Okay, I know I've gone way over my normal time limit here, but just comparing the end of Daredevil Season 2 to the Defenders. Daredevil Season 2 ended with this massive rooftop fighting against the Hand. Daredevil and Elektra are fighting. Elektra gets killed during the end of season 2 of Daredevil. The Punisher has to join up with Daredevil, and he's sniping people from a rooftop nearby, keeping Daredevil alive so that he can finish his fight against the Hand for season 2. It was awesome. The Defenders went to a building and went down an elevator shaft and fought a couple of guys in an elevator shaft. I'm super spoiler. This is the end of this show, but and then Elektra tricked Iron Fist into using his fist, and then her and Daredevil stood there and argued, and then kissed, and then the whole building exploded and caved in. And I'm like, that was not as spectacular as the end of season 2 of Daredevil. I don't understand why you have Daredevil, which has been pretty awesome for 2 seasons, and then none of these other shows seem to climb to that same level. So, I don't know. It was good. It was better than people were saying it was, but it's not amazing. So, anyways, now that I've rambled on too long, click leave a like, subscribe, share, and catch the next one. I will talk to you later.